People who actually used a pen from start until it lost ink without losing them. How the heck did you do it? I used to be a paramedic and we had paper patient care reports we had to fill out for every call. Our uniforms had a pen sleeve in the front pocket. I had my favorite special pens that were medium tip, strong, and black ink that I used. I also had crummier pens in my clipboard that I would lend out if someone asked, but never my special pen. I wrote a heck of a lot of notes over the years. I tuck my favorite pen behind my ear where it is hidden by my long hair and leave the decoy pens on my desk. Have a coworker that chews pens. I still have a few pens and pencils from when I was in elementary school. I'm now 50. I mean technically I do too, but I don't use it. It's a pen with my mother's name and work contact info. She died so I treasure it. The trick to not losing things is to always put them back in the same place when you're done. Applies to keys, pens, wallets, etc. Nano One's pen is safe at my job. I even etched my name into one of my pens and found the guy that took it. Kept it on my desk at all times even when I left the office. It was the only pen I had. Never lend your pens to someone. Hover until they give it back. Buy good pens. If it cost more than your standard dollar store bic, you'll work harder to not lose it. I bought a $7 pen because I always lose pens and I got sick of not caring. Mitch Hedberg. Well, it was in my pocket, it overheated and all the ink leaked out onto my leg. Wouldn't recommend. But technically, you did it. Whenever you lend your pen, keep hold of the lid. You'll always get it back. That increase your chances. Back when I was working retail, I'd have a pen to give the customers to sign credit card receipts and fill out checks. Enough of them walked away that I started to keep the cap when handing out the pen. That way if they absent-mindedly put my pen in their pocket, I'd at least have the satisfaction of ruining their shirt. My friend has so many pens I can't even count them all. She uses them all until there's no ink. I asked her the same thing. She said simple, I'm not a dumbass and I've never been more offended in my life. Yeah, I have pencils and pens that are 10 plus years old. I have a box for both. When I'm done writing, I put them back in the box. I'm not sure how some people survive in this world. I'm a pen fiend, so when someone asks to borrow it, if they start walking away with it, I ask them for it back. It's a bad habit of mine, but I can't help it. Same with pretty much anything on my desk. I tend to buy refillable pens of some quality and at some cost. Makes me take care of them and value them. Last pen lasted 12 years before it broke. Bought the same model once again. Big pens disappear all the time, but I know where my favorite is. I broke out my fountain pen from grade school when I had to write about 10 pages in exams in college. Fountain pen. Expensive pen that runs dry quicker, makes it easy to use it till it runs out of ink without losing it. I've completely used up the same pen dozens of times. The ink in my fountain pen seems to evaporate. I install a new cartridge and no matter how little I write, it's about half empty a week later. I draw in class a frick ton of times. Relatable. OCD. I'm that guy that uses pen from start to finish, that always uses chapstick till the end. I will use a lighter till there's no more fluid. If I ever lose something, I will spend the whole day obsessing over it and can't focus on anything else. I frick with people who take things from my desk. Take my pen. I take the wheels from your chair. I envy your approach. You obviously haven't attended math lectures where writing along is key to be able to learn for the exams. It's write or die. Pens didn't last much longer than a semester. Same here. When I was still in high school, I wondered how people ever finished pens. Once I started university, I emptied multiple per semester. From taking notes in class and making summaries while I studied. I studied physics, which did involve a lot of math classes as well. It was a pen I made myself in a wood turning class, so I was careful to always put it in a safe place, which happened to be the pen holder of the messenger bag I only took with me once or twice a week. Still have the pen, actually, but haven't taken the time to figure out how to refill it. I took a picture of my pen every day to see how long it would last and how much ink I use a day. Yes, my life is boring as heck and I like it that way. Also to note, it took me 3 months. Luckily my office is pretty dang cool and doesn't take stuff from my desk, so it was easy. When I went away I would store it in my drawer. I once thought I lost it. Turned out I just misplaced it by the printer. TLDR. My office doesn't steal my stuff, and I have too much time on my hands. Hey, I also take around 3 months to use up a pen. Because fountain pens cost a lot more money. If your pen was worth $150 you wouldn't frickin' lose it. Seconding this, my fountain pen goes next to my knife in my pocket. Said pocket is worth more than my smartphone. The same way I own a 2012-2014 smartphone with a pristine, and still original, screen. I take good care of my stuff. At age 36 this just happened to me for the first time. It was a strange feeling throwing that bic away. I almost kept it just because it was so special. Just like, don't lose it. From my experience it just goes to another freaking realm when I drop it. I sell cars. I have specific green Pilot G2 with a 1.0 black ink cartridge. I feel naked without it, unlike my 4th or 5th ink cartridge. I have a black one with blue ink, and the cool thing is that you can grab other types of Pilot pen refills and put them in there. I've been known to take a precision refill and put it into one of my G2s. Because I use fountain pens and if I lost it I would be out $30. Also, nobody is going to borrow a fountain pen because 90% of the population doesn't know how to write with one. I don't know why but seem to latch onto things, like certain cutlery, plates, cups, etc. And it's all I can use or I get so uncomfortable, like my skin is crawling and my brain is itchy. I really don't know how to put it into words. It makes me quite distressed though, so when I like a pen it's the only pen I will use. Pretty annoying actually, especially when it runs out and I need to find a new one that I can use without freaking out. You might have OCD, dude. Being poor, and therefore frugal. Get into the habit of keeping pens in a certain pocket. It's like the 3 taps before you leave the house, but make it 4 for the pen. Always keep a shittier second one to lend to people, but always keep that black G2 for yourself. Know your worth. Pilot G2. If you know, you know. How anyone uses anything else is beyond me. A friend gave me a Mont Blanc pen. Still have it after 8 years. I have 2 Mont Blanc fountain pens with gold nibs, different colors and widths. The reaction depends on the age of the person. Millennial, if they can figure out how to unscrew the cap, when they see the nib they won't go near it. Older person, unscrews cap. Big lecture about how they used to have to learn to write with a fountain or dip pen at high school. Then tentative writing with the pen. I use G2s, more specifically, different colored ones, like red or blue, and then I change the ink so that it's black. Then, once it gets swiped, as G2s often do, I go around my office looking for someone using a red G2 and ask them to write with it. As soon as it starts writing in black, I know it's mine. Of course, most people don't take them off my desk, as they assume that the red pen also writes with red ink. Unfortunately, my wife caught onto this a long time ago and this strategy does not work at home. It causes you to make an obscenely irrelevant amount of lists. Additional, I write my thoughts down. I imagine you have lists of lists. Listception. I have had the same mechanical pencil since 5th grade. You are just weak. Turns out OP is on 6th grade. I use the free Zion erasable pens and go through them very quickly. They just kinda only have like 3/4 to 1/2 filled ink tube usually, so it's kinda annoying, but it's the only good erasable pen I have ever found. So, pencil box. Been using the same Zebra F402 for 10 years, with several refills during that period. I keep it at my desk. I keep another one in my padfolio for meetings. I keep another one in my backpack fuse when at a different office. Organization is key to not losing crap, or forgetting crap, etc. The Zebra F series pens are all awesome. Obviously the 402 on the 701 are the better ones, but it's a great nice little pen and it'll get the job done. I treat my pens as if they were my children and it kinda hurts when they start running out of ink. Lefty here. When you find the pen that doesn't smudge your writing into an abstract painting, you learn to value it more than life itself. Maybe a tad overdramatic, but I write out all my class and lab notes, so I like good pens. I paid $250 for it. They make fun of me at work because I am still using the pen they gave me when I got here 8 years ago. It takes refills obviously. I do not see this as remarkable, because how hard is it to take care of crap? Really? But I am in the minority, apparently. Good job. I am proud of you. Left it in my hoodie and put it in the washing machine. Would not recommend. Took a lot of rubbing alcohol to save the stained clothes. My niece gave me a little pencil topper in the shape of a bear. I put it on top of my pen and only use that one at work. I've used up about 6 pens so far and it's so satisfying. Relatedly satisfying is using up chapstick and plastic boxes of salad greens. Ink tastes good. I prefer the red inks to the black ones. They have a fruitier taste in my opinion. When started study Chinese hieroglyphs, I've realized that there is no pen can survive for a week anymore. Mandarin speaker writer here, it's great that you're practicing a lot. Chinese penmanship is an art of its own. Grad school. Fountain pens are fountain pens. I'm a veterinarian, so I'm constantly writing down notes on paperwork. My consultation jacket has pocket slots specifically for my pens. You have been visited by the ingenious Joe. Comment brain so you always see the glass half full. Like and subscribe, you magnificent person.